Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be reprising a video I made, possibly getting off about 4 years ago now, which was called Record Collection Roulette. It was essentially like a bit of a game where you would sort of pick out a random letter and a random number and then go to your collection. And play those records what came up so a chance to sort of delve into your collection a little bit, perhaps pull out records you might not normally play. So I made that video, I think, intending for it to become a little series, and I think I only made the one video off it, to be honest. But now I'm actually if you might have noticed, I'm in a slightly different location. It's because I've actually moved flat just this week, and it's a little bit bigger than where I was before, which means I've been able to bring all of my record collection with me here. So I thought record collection roulette might be quite a good thing to revisit. So I've made a little bit I have made a bit of a tweak to it, if you did watch remember the original video. Essentially there I had I pulled out a letter and then a number, so you get, say, maybe, I don't know, say B13 or something, so you play the 13th record, what began with B. But the issue with that is, with some letters, you've got tons of records. So say for, B or S, there's countless bands that with those letters. Very little though for stuff for, say, things like Z or I. Instead, I've decided to go by shelf number. So I've got a total of, I think, 16 full of these square boxes here, so each of those have numbers, and then I counted, and there's around 70 items on average in each one. So I'm just going to pull out a random shelf number and then a random item number, and then I'll go, and then the idea is that I'll listen to the record and then give my thoughts on it rather briefly. So this is what I've got set up here. This is a Excel sheet, so I've got shelf number and item number here. So this will just pull out a random number between I've got 16 full shelves, and then I was saying it was about 70 items on each shelf. So again, that will just pull out a random number between 1 and 70. So what we'll do is we'll do this 5 times. I'll take a note of each of the numbers and then go and pull those from my record collection. So first one is going to be 16 and 35. We've then got 1 and 4. That should be quite an easy one to find. 10 and 16. 15 and 19, and then 10 and 52. So what I'll do now is I'll go up to my collection, pull these records out, and then just show you them before I play them today. Okay, so I've just gone up to my collection and pulled out those records, so I'll just show them now before I play them, and then give you my thoughts on the albums. Briefly, it won't be full in depth big album reviews like I normally do. So, first one was 1635, and that was Neil Young's Harvest. So that's the last box I've got, towards the end of my collection. Not heard this album in a while, so I'm quite excited to hear it. I have reviewed it, so I do know it fairly well. Looking forward to listening to that. 1-4 was right at the top there, so it was an A record, and it was ABBA. So it was ABBA's, again, I think their 4th or 5th album, because I don't think I've got Ring Ring yet, so yeah, Arrival. So again, looking forward to hearing this. Again, it's not a record which I play too often, because with ABBA I tend to go to things like The Visitors, or the album, or even just a hits compilation. So the soundtracks to Neil, which I've not heard in quite a while, so this will be a nice one to play. Next one was 1016, so that was over there in my kind of M's section. So we got Morrissey and Boner Jack. Now, slightly annoying thing with this was I actually played this album just the other day, so I might maybe only get through 2 sides of this, because again, it's one of those things. I played this, I think, literally yesterday. But no, a good compilation here though. Just a Morrissey single. So again, I'll give my thoughts on that. 1519 again towards the end, it was kind of W and Paul Weller, so we got A Kind Revolution here, one of his kind of more recent solo albums from 2017, so that'll be a nice one to hear. And then 1052 again. These ones there like include 12-inch singles. I'm not gonna like exclude this because again, it's one of the things like you could get like a huge box set, say, or say a double album, or like a triple album, like as was the case the last time I made this. Like I got concert for Bangladesh, so I had to kind of sit through like the Indian side of like that, like when like I played it. But yeah, like I can't include 12-inch singles in this, so that's what I got the last time. Like for like the last one. So this is a New Order single, Touched by the Hand of God. So I'll play both sides of it, and again let you know what I think. Hi everyone, so it's a bit later on now in the evening. I have played those 5 records, which were pulled out for me by Record Collection Roulette. So I'll just now give my kind of thoughts on the albums, just on my listening off them today. So so first one was Neil Young's Harvest album. Now I really enjoyed this album. Again, Young is an artist I've not really delved too much into. I only have this album and After the Gold Rush, and I guess it is a bit daunting a little bit maybe to know where to go next, because those 2 are his most acclaimed albums. So it is like a little bit, and it is a little bit daunting because he's got so many other albums aside from these. But yeah, no, I really love this record. It is quite a versatile album, I would say. It's not all kind of there is a bit of kind of Young's kind of country sort of rock sort of style on it, then there are some other great tracks like There's a World, which has a lush orchestration on it. And then just some good hard rock songs like Words Between the Lines of Age and Alabama. So yeah, there's some fantastic songs, and then plus by some other great tracks like Out on the Weekend and Heart of Gold is maybe his most popular song. And this is my final copy of it. It's a lovely American copy which I bought when I was over there in absolutely beautiful condition. It's got this insert with it here which has all the lyrics to it, and it's on what label is it on? I think it's on Reprise Records there. So this one, 1972 this came out. Fantastic album, I really enjoyed listening to it. The next one what came out was ABBA's Arrival album here. Now, this is, for me, going into this, not an album which I listen to a lot, when I'm kind of wanting to listen to ABBA, I tend to go to, as I said, the later stuff or just a kind of singles compilation. So there were some tracks here which I'd not heard in a very, very, very long time. But I, really enjoyed this album, and I certainly get why it is possibly the most acclaimed album, or certainly, I think it was the most successful studio album. Possibly, I'm not 100% sure, but it is the album which has 3 the biggest hits: so Dancing Queen, Knowing Me, Knowing You, and Money, Money, Money. But then there's some other great album tracks like the opener, When I Kissed the Teacher. Although kind of lyrically a little bit certainly strange by today's kind of standards, just the sound of it is just so euphoric, and it's one of ABBA's, I would say, one of their best produced and best sounding tracks. Then there's other tracks like That's Me, which I really like, the kind of the very fun sort of piano one there, and Why Did It Have to Be Me, I've always really liked, and Tiger, again not a track I was too fond of a couple of years back, or when I was really into ABBA in my youth, but a song which I did enjoy listening to today. So all round a really great album, and one again was glad that it came out. The third one that came out was Morris's album Boner Drag. Now this is the expanded version of the album what came out a couple of years back in 2010 it says on the back here. Now the original copies of this were just a single vinyl, but this is a a double vinyl version of it. But again, they've messed about a bit with the chat listing, because it's not like it's just the first side of it's not like the first record of this is the original album, and then the second one kind of bonus tracks. They've kind of sort of messed up the album track list. They've kind of thrown in some songs. I'm not sure if they've taken off any tracks. It wouldn't surprise me with Morrissey, to be honest. But yeah, though, an interesting album though, because it was a compilation kind of so early on, in his solo career, up to this point, he only had the one album, but following Viva Hate, he really just kind of concentrated on producing singles, and that really worked for him, for like that kind of time, like sort of like releasing like maybe say like 3 or 4 singles like each year, and like then this album then collected those singles and then kind of some of the B-sides, but even then it's still not a complete collection like of like his kind of singles up to this point. So even this expanded version like isn't complete, but yeah, no, still like a good like record though, and like one which I do enjoy listening to if I just want a bit of like early Morrissey work there. And the next one was a Paul Weller album, A Kind Revolution. It's been a while since I've played this one, and this is quite a important album for me. Like I would say, it was the first Paul Weller album that came out while I was actively a big fan of his. So I think for that reason alone, like it will always have a special place for me. And I think if I was to do another Paul Weller ranking video, I think kind of going into that, I would have probably still put this ahead of all the albums which have come after, because even though this was 2017, like he's released True Meanings, On Sunset, and now Fat Pop like after it, so very prolific. But yeah, like I would have instinctively said, oh, this is still better, but I might be a bit more like on the fence. Like I still really enjoyed this album, especially the first side. Like I think every song like on side 1 is great. Just side 2, there's a couple of tracks which I was saying now are a little bit more fillery. Things like Hopper and Satellite Kid. I mean, saying that, like I was never big on Satellite Kid, like even when the album came out. But yeah, for me that song, never not too crazy about it. But then there's other great stuff like The Impossible Idea to close the album, and One Tear, sort of like collaboration with Boy George, which is really good. I would still say that there are some great moments like on this album, and it is a really strong like Paul Weller record. And yeah, for me was the first record I got off his like when I was a fan. I seen him I think twice on this tour. So yeah, a great record here, A Kind Revolution. And then the last one what came out was a 12-inch single, which was a New Order's song, Touched by the Hand of God. So I actually had to do a bit of research about this song, because I really didn't know too much about it. So this is a single from 1987, and yeah, it kind of gets lost in the mix a little bit. It came out just after the Substance compilation, which is one of the best kind of compilations like of all time, collects all the New Order singles up to that point. This one just came out after it, so it isn't on there, and it really hasn't appeared on many compilations since. The other one I'm thinking of is the Total compilation. It's not on that one either, again, it's quite a difficult song to get, and it is one which I think has been forgotten a little bit, even though it was a top 20 single here in the UK, it reached number 20, but it isn't a New Order song which really gets much praise. It was originally written for a film soundtrack, a film called Salvation, and I did enjoy the song, but I can kind of see why it's got a bit forgotten. It isn't. It just seems a bit New Order by numbers a little bit. It doesn't really stand out, say things like Truth Faith does, or even Technique singles, what would be their album after this. B-side of this was a dub mix of the song. Not something I would usually play, and I probably will never play it again. To be honest with you, but we're this sort of thing. I'm playing the whole thing through, and yeah, that wasn't much. But the actual main song is a good track, but again, would it be one of my favourite New Order songs? Probably not. So yeah, that was Touched by the Hand of God there. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I know it's been something a little bit different, but it is a kind of idea which I hope to kind of keep going now. Pulling out these kind of random records and just giving you my thoughts on them. So yes, hope you have enjoyed, and yes, I will see you all next time for the next video. Goodbye.